Let us now continue our discussion. Now we were actually modifying the properties of this element pane, which is basically our top level container. So whenever we are modifying the property of the pane, make sure it is selected. So simply select it, and suppose we want to change the background color of our pane. So for that, let us move to the properties of the pane. Click here, it will simply expand it, and now down below you will find this section of style. Right? If you click here, then you will find multiple options: background color, background image, and so on. There are many other options. But we want to modify its background color. So simply select it, and then on the right you have to specify the background color value. And this needs to be in the form of hex value, such as hash FF0000, so RGB value, and then simply click somewhere else to save it. And now the background color becomes red. And then suppose I want it to be, let's call it blue, then I will simply use 0000FF. That is again the RGB value. Click somewhere else and then it will become blue. And now if you are a beginner and want to know what this RGB value stands for, then please search on Google. And in case you want to know more about this style attribute, then simply click on this link. When you click on that, it will simply take you to the official site of oracle.com, where you will find everything related to style in Java. Right? So as of now, I will close it. And now, similar to style, there are various other properties which you may or may not familiar about. Now in any case you want to know more about, suppose I want to know more about this blend mode. So I will simply hover over it and click on it. It will again take me to the official website of oracle.com, where I can know more about what is blend mode. Here it is the property description. The blend mode is used to blend this individual node into the scene behind it. So there are a lot of information about this property. You can go through each one of them. And here in this course, we will discuss the most important ones. So right now, let us change the background to some gray color. Click somewhere else, and now we are getting the gray mode. And at any point you want to revert it to the default one, then simply select this icon, settings icon, and then reset to default. It will again revert it back to the white color. So these were all about the properties. How you can modify it. Now what are the elements that we can store within the pane? So for that again we have this controls. So let us expand this control, and here the first basic element is the button. Let us drag and drop it within the pane. So the first child of this pane will be the button. Now if I drag and drop another button, let us drag and drop it here. Now if you notice, our second button did not appear on the screen. Now whenever we drag and drop any element within the pane, what happens is that by default all the child of the pane will appear on the top left corner of the screen here. So if you select the second button and drag it from here, then you will notice the first button was lying just under it. So the second button just overlapped the first button. Now both the buttons are now visible. And in case you want to drag and drop a checkbox, so simply select it and drag and drop it somewhere on the screen here. And if you go to the text tab, then you will notice all the codes are automatically generated by the IntelliJ IDE. So we don't have to worry about any of the code. All the code are automatically written by our IDE. Such a great job is being done by our IDE. And whatever code that you can see here are actually the XML code. This is the pane, and these are all the children of the pane, such as the button 1, button 2, and then the checkbox. It is totally understandable by us. And then move back to scene builder, and let us drag and drop a text field. So again, I will move down and there I will find the text field. Let us drag it and drop it somewhere here, right? And let us now try to run our application. So there we go, we have got our application up and running. This is the button, this is the field where user can enter his name like this. And then we have the button and then we have the checkbox.